on, guys? It's Ars Vaughn, Chair Guys Podcast. Please remember, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Scroll down, subscribe. Many people think they're subscribed, but they're not actually subscribed to the channel. So subscribe for new Chair Guys episodes every Thursday, guys. I'm here with my co-host,
Spiked or Anthony, and it is our 20th anniversary, 20th episode.
It's our 20th year doing Chair Guys.
20th
guys.
year. We've been going hard in the paint
It's 20
just for
years.
y'all.
For the
20
womb,
years of
baby.
Chair Guys.
Yes, and we had to bring on a special guest. We finally are stepping into the realm of the UK. We made it. It's the British invasion. Oliver, what's
it's
going
me.
on?
It's
Special
me.
guest Oliver.
The
Oliver.
red coats are coming.
Others might know me as Smaliussp. Others may even know me as Idle Stare on the
Yep.
regular music platform here and there. But
That's facts.
that's for another time.
That's here nor there. Am I right, ladies and
no,
gentlemen?
That's
no,
neither-
no, no,
It's
no,
on the-
No, it's neither here nor there.
Oh, it's neither here nor there. That's
no,
the same.
no, of course. But
Oh.
it's a pleasure to be here, an honor.
Yes.
In fact.
As always, we are
Um,
so excited to have you here. We just want to get straight into it because this is about music. We're here to talk about
Oh,
music.
it's
Big fan of that whole music.
not
thing.
about-
You know, they're onto something.
idle staring.
It's not about idle staring,
Oh.
whatever that is.
and-
Hey, my time will come.
And
In the next
Your time will
episode,
come.
20 episodes
Indeed.
from now, the Idle Stare episode. Okay.
Hey, well, don't worry. We'll have a little something for you at the end. But,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, as it always is, we're here to talk about music. And so, we wanted to open it up. We just wanted to say, Future did drop this week, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
Future fell off. So,
Does anyone
He didn't
care
fall
really
off.
at this point?
okay, ladies
He's
and gentlemen,
40.
It's not 2015 anymore.
it's not.
Okay.
He's 40.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
He's pushing
Move
40.
on.
He's pushing 40. We're not
Pushing
giving him the
keys.
platform.
He's pushing 40.
He needs to hand off the torch to Gunna because Gunna's going to be the one. You know, Future walks so that Gunna could
Facts.
run. Just saying.
Future
Sure.
sucks.
Yep,
It's
he
true.
does. But
Future's one of my least favorite artists ever.
yeah,
Are you
he's
serious?
He is too. Yeah.
Wow,
I don't.
someone
I don't
off the
have.
hot
I don't have
takes. Okay.
DSD right over there.
I'm not
but
serious.
That's
please.
okay. But anyways, no, we just
Please.
decided
Okay.
there was another album we wanted to talk about a lot more because we feel like a lot of y'all wanted to see us talk about this a little bit more, maybe than just a Future album. So that album, enough beating around the bush, is Vices by Weiland.
By Weiland.
No, don't start it. Don't start it.
Oh,
Don't-
it's Vices by Weiland, obviously.
It's
Yeah.
Weiland.
Yeah.
It's Weiland.
Idiot.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna open it up because I have been waiting for this album ever since I
Isis
first.
by Weiland.
Okay, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Okay, that's the last time. It's the last
Okay,
time.
that's the last time. Okay,
For now.
I just wanted to say I've been anticipating this album ever since it was first going to drop. Like back in it's been going on for 2 years now that he was like, I'm about to drop this project. We've been getting snippets for 2 years now consistently. And it was like people were like, what in the world is this new kind of lane that he's stepping into with this whole like synth pop sound? Because we're coming from a guy who talked about Bitcoin, you know, I finessed him out them racks and got some Bitcoin. To this, which is Vices, and we're getting this whole new sound, this production with Mike Dean, which is absurd. To think that someone from like the underground plug scene, Slay World, could link up with Mike Dean, and as everything was just going up and up and up, next thing you know, there was just a hiatus from him, and he was just gone for a while, for I think a good year or so, until he dropped Heartstop, and then people were like, ooh. What is he cooking? What is he cooking up? You know what I'm saying? And then flash forward, we got Blaming Myself, and then finally, after some more time, we finally got the announcement. And then, as of last week, we got Vices. Okay, enough. I'm sorry. Y'all just need to know the context. Okay, this dude, he made plug music. All right, he was in Slay World, kind of associated, but whatever. Now to get into the album, I'm gonna just open it up. I'm gonna just say it. It's my album of the year. There's no
Get
There's
the
no-
fuck out of here.
there is no
Trash.
competition right now. There is nothing that has come completely close to this for me. I'm not gonna sit here and give you a lecture on what every song is about, but for the most part, Weiland is a sad boy. He is a sad boy. He has gone through a lot of woes with drug addiction. He, you know, on a lot of the songs, he expresses ideas of him hating himself, who he was, kind of posing to be someone he wasn't. And there's also this very much back and forth between this girl that I could safely say he loves this girl, I think I could safely say he loves this girl. There's a lot of back and forth. And I will say on my first listens or so, that was something I was not happy with about this project was the sequencing of the album. The way that tracks would just kind of go from him being like this girl is a skank, she's getting passed around everywhere, she's boring, you know what I'm saying? But then it goes into like, oh, but I need this girl in my life, but I want her so bad. But it wasn't until very, very recently that I actually sat down, I listened to the lyrics, and I paid attention, and I realized like how special the sequencing is of this album and like the kind of concept and thoughts. And it's just super important because I'm gonna get a little personal, y'all. It's story time. It's story time. Actually,
Hit us with it. Hit us with it. Pull your heart
I
out.
you know I there are songs like Blaming Myself where Weiland blames himself for the bad things that this girl has like treated him on, and he has this back and forth with himself, and a lot of this album is a back and forth, which is really, I think, important to the album because it kind of exemplifies like how kind of fucked up Wyland was because there was no one really telling him where to go. No one was telling him what was right. He didn't have anyone in his corner to help him, and he just had himself. But he didn't really have himself completely because he was like just surrounding himself by drugs and all this abuse of things and this really toxic girl. But at the end of the day, he learns to love her flaws, and that's what's so special about her. And I have exactly someone like that in my life where like she was really toxic to me, but after a while I just kind of started to understand that like this is her, and I need to just accept these flaws about her because she can't be perfect and there's nothing wrong with that. And then after a while I was just like, this is who I want in my life. Unfortunately though, Wyland didn't really get that because on the last track, kind of like Farewell, he's like, can we just like come back to me, you know what I'm saying? So who knows, maybe this is like him giving a calling to this girl and being like, where you at? Like he's like, it's 3 a.m. He's texting her like, you up? You know what I'm saying? It gets you a little emotional. It got me emotional. I've yet to cry to this album, but there were moments where I was like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was making me sad. Like this is a very depressing album. But
Yeah.
enough about me. I will chime in later because I take up way too much fucking time. I'm gonna hand it over to Vaughn. Vaughn, bro, what is your
Yeah,
thoughts?
there were actually on a similar note. There were moments that I was about to cry on this album, not because it was emotional or anything, but just because it was so bad and I was so bored. I just like it was like just torture, honestly. No, but this is a really good album, guys. This is a really good album.
Hmm.
I can safely say that I get the hype, at least to a certain extent. Um, I definitely think like there are some songs on here, especially like the first few songs and the last few songs. Like they're just like the production's insane and the songwriting's on point and the melodies are fire. Like
Hmm.
Wyland has so much potential to be like a goat. Like I'm telling you guys. Like if you listen to like some of his snippets and stuff from before this album dropped, there's just some cool ass ideas on them.
Yeah.
And it's just like I'm just excited for his future, really. And I don't think this is a perfect album. I don't think it's like a masterpiece, but there are definitely some like amazing songs, like Broken Ego and Dangerous Woman and Mellotron, and just like I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Another thing is also the influences are very apparent.
Hmm.
Like he definitely doesn't try to hide them, and he's definitely not doing anything super new.
Yeah.
But he's doing everything really well, and I think it's just a really fun album anyway.
Yeah. I
So it's not as much of a problem. It's
Yeah.
just kind of a sign of like a newer artist, and he hasn't really found his sound, like his core sound, like his unique sound yet, but he's getting there, and
Yeah.
it's exciting to watch.
I actually just wanted to chime in really quickly and say something about that. Like that's been a lot of the criticism I've seen from people who are like on the fence about this album, that like, oh yeah, he's not bringing anything new to the table. And another thing I've seen is that like, oh, the songwriting is really basic. Like, I'm sorry, do you not know this guy's past? Like he was not kind of the guy to be the most lyrical, spiritual, miracle kind of dude. And then also the idea that he's not bringing anything new to the table, like I just disagree with that entirely because okay, like why does he need to bring something to the table if he's doing it in stride and in colors, like with flying colors? He doesn't need to bring anything new to the table. Like we're barely, I'd say right now we're in like an 80s pop revival kind of thing, like
Yeah,
everything is
for
getting
sure.
boosted. We had the Weekend's Dawn FM, which everyone is saying like this is clearing it out the water, which is
Okay,
funny. Like uh,
calm down, calm down.
really, you don't think so?
No, I think it's better, but like you say everyone, like that's just like
Not.
the fucking Twitter people, bro. That's just Twitter nerds, bro.
I mean, okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. But no, like like I don't like the idea that like, oh, he needs to bring something new to the table because he's not doing anything with it. But like I just don't. Why? Like why? I don't think you need to. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. That's how I see it. But I mean,
I mean, there's a certain point in an album that's not very unique where it's just like too basic and too derivative.
I don't feel that
think
with this album though.
doesn't. Yeah, I don't really feel it either.
Like it's not like
with
he's
the
completely
vast
ripping off
majority
his
of it.
influences. He's wearing his influences on his sleeve, but he's not ripping them off. You know what I'm saying? I'd
Yeah, I
I'd say the
agree.
point that you could argue that most with is when he starts like speaking like, or he puts on like a British accent on like Hard Time, and on like I think like Wanted More, A Better Place. He kind of goes a little bit British.
Is this my
Um,
time to chime in?
this is now your
Yes.
This
time
is
to
the
chime
cue.
in.
This is the cue.
Actually, so yes, Oliver, I want to
It's
know
the cue.
because you had not listened to it until I told you we were gonna be
No,
doing it.
no, that was like yesterday. So let me
Yeah.
preface this. I've only listened to it once.
That's okay.
Okay.
That
That's
was while
okay.
playing Elden Ring. Not the
Ooh,
best
yeah.
combination necessarily, but I found you can, if you're just
Yeah.
exploring, you can understand what's going on in an album.
Yeah.
So Weiland, I had never heard about this guy until Vices was nearing the drop,
Yeah.
mostly from like you, Anthony, and Vaughn, and
Yeah.
everyone else on Twitter who was going fucking crazy for it and the singles and whatever. And I was like, okay, let's see what this guy's got. So I saved it, and then when you said we're gonna do it, I was like, okay, now I have an excuse. So there I was, put it on, and it starts, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucking with it. I'm fucking with it. Production, nothing too complex, nothing too crazy, but he's got a really good melodic sensibility and knows how to drive a song forward, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was enjoying it. His vocals were just like, okay, like this could be any 80s pastiche singer. Like it's complete, like with all due respect to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think clearly like he needs to find, his confidence in his, vocal ability. And I know personally like that's not easy to do. But it was just kind of dry, and the overuse of reverb. I know it's part of the sound,
Yeah.
but it's
yeah.
like it feels like an attempt to make up for that, and it only does so much. But
Yeah.
I digress. So as it went on, though, I kind of stopped finding things that really, drew something out of me. Very quickly, it felt like it ran out of its, bag of tricks. I felt like it had played all its cards by like the fifth or sixth song.
Yeah.
Like the production was very solid. Like every time.
Anthony's about to cry, bro.
No, it's
You
no.
can see it in his
That's the thing.
face.
Take grain of salt, okay? One listen. So who knows? Who knows? Tomorrow I could re-listen and it's going to be a masterpiece, and I'm going to be preaching the AOTY
Yeah.
label, Kingdom Come. But the way I see it is there is potential. I think Vaughn's very much right. But it's just like I feel like he understands what makes synth pop good, but not why these things make synth pop good. Like I don't know. I know that's kind of a dumb thing to say, but
No, it makes sense.
you know what I'm
It makes
getting
sense.
at? Like he's just kind of taking the surface level things that happen and features of synth pop, and not I don't know what to say replicate, because it is still his own thing, but he doesn't really. And I come back to the point that you made before, Anthony, about originality. I don't think it needs to be original. I don't think there's a necessity for originality in all music. Right? That's impossible. You can't. There's way too high expectations. You can't go like that.
Yeah.
But what I do look for is just something exciting, in any form. And I think while it had its moments, and the vocal melodies, like, when just the chord moves into just the right progression, and you go, yeah,
Yes.
I wanted it to go there. It went there. This is fantastic, right? It did that. But there were no surprises. By the fifth track or the fourth track, I could see exactly what was ahead of me, and nothing else that happened really made me like stop in my tracks. Oh shit. So look, I like it. I think the songwriting's maybe I think the basic songwriting criticism is valid regardless of where he came from with his previous musical experience. Like, here's the thing: The Weeknd. Personally, I think like Dawn FM, great album. Songwriting, weak as shit. Okay, the lyrics weak as shit. Read those lyrics for like more than 10 seconds, you're gonna start cringing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then some songs it's really bad, like Best Friends. Oh, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Right?
The Mary track. Yeah, that Mary.
Yeah,
track.
oh god, exactly. But it doesn't matter because the production, the melodies, everything else, his singing is everything else is so on point. I don't care. And I'm too busy enjoying the groove and the rhythms of the tracks to even give a shit. And there are those rhythms and there are those grooves, and you know they do exist in this album, but it only comes together as just a decent example of synth-pop pastiche, as far as I see it.
To me,
that's just my experience.
To me, I like his vocals because they sound very vulnerable. Like he sounds very distraught, and you see that a lot when you actually sit down and like read the lyrics. Like yes, they are simple, but there are moments where he says really deep things. Like the only time he mentions his former group Slay World is on the first track, and it's the first line of the album, where he's like, "I fell through with my friends" and shit like that. And I there's just moments like that where it's like it really brings forward the clarity and how like kind of vulnerable he is. I don't want. That's the thing. I didn't want Weiland to sit here and make me get a dictionary out. You know, that's not what I wanted from this project. But I didn't want him to like overwhelm me with these vocals. I knew what I was getting into with singles like Hard Stop and Blaming Myself. And even if you listen to like he has a demo for Pharrell Williams with like this choir, which unfortunately isn't on this album. There's a lot of stuff he scrapped that isn't on this album. Like another track is Let Her Go.
Where is he getting these connections? Mike Dean?
His
like, what is going on here?
Pharrell, he got it through Fish, and that's the other dude who does production on this album. Fish somehow knows like Mike Dean. I forget. There's like a video that explains it all, because it was like a behind the scenes with Weiland. But this dude named Fish, which is a dope producer name by the way, just linked up with Weiland, and he was like, here. I know Mike Dean. We can bring him into the studio. Which he did like he did Blaming Myself. For some reason that's the only time Mike Dean is credited, even though he does like several other tracks. But
yeah, when they said a feature, I was expecting him to come in with some bars. I was like, that's finally got to show everyone else what.
Yeah, no, I think it was just more so because he released it as a single, and so it's kind of like a licensing thing or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like personally, I'm completely content and happy with what I got, and then I got more than what I asked for. So that's why this album really lands with me, and why it's my album of the year. Like I do recognize its faults at times, so that's why I haven't given it anything higher than what I currently have it at. But like other than that, like the fact that it hits all the marks for me and then some more is why it's my album of the year currently. So I could actually see something replacing it as my album of the year.
But for
the most part, yeah, I'm just really happy with it, and I absolutely love the themes discussed, because I have something that I can put next to, other than kind of all the drug stuff that he deals with. Because
there's like a deeper level of emotional.
Yeah, there's helps you
connect to these tracks.
100%. A lot of those lyrics are the same things I was feeling with this girl that I was involved with a while ago. So yeah, no, it's just, and then I'm more so also excited for like his music videos. He dropped like a music video for Mellotron, and that was really fun. It was really simple, and you can just kind of see how tired and beat up he is all the time, and it's just something to think about with me or for me for this album. I don't know. I'm always taken aback by it. I think it's all really fucking cool, except
I wanted to say that like I would definitely re-listen once or twice more Oliver, because my first listen I was kind of feeling a little similar. Like I liked it, but I felt it was very repetitive, and by the time we got to like the second half of the album I was like, this is like the same sounds, man. Like I need some variation. But
yeah,
but it definitely grew on me a little more. I still don't think it's like amazing, but I think the last few tracks especially have like this really like hypnotic quality to them, especially like Farewell.
Yeah.
I love it's just a vibe. I don't know.
Mellotron
it's
too.
A nice vibe, and that's my main.
On my first my first 10 listens, I was like, I don't really understand what the hype is with Mellotron, but then I'd say by my 20th listen, I was like, I get what the hype is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I'll give it a cool 20.
Yeah, give it 20. Yeah, give it about 20, 25.
Yeah, I think really, currently I'm on like.
You might start to like it.
You shouldn't be speaking on an album unless you have like 20, 25 for this.
Yeah,
I agree.
I have like 30 right now, so I feel like I have a little bit of room to talk.
I've listened about 60 times.
I would take your opinion a little bit more more seriously if you had 35, but
Okay, no, that's fair. I
Okay.
get that.
Oh,
I get that.
so,
But no,
yeah.
Vaughn is definitely right. Like we listened together for the first time because we weren't gonna cover the album.
Okay, Anthony, you were dick riding from day one, bro. Don't even.
Yeah,
No,
I
wait,
saw
wait, what are you
that.
talking
Before
about?
the
You were
album came
dick
out, you were
riding
like,
from
this gotta
listen
be
one, bro.
the
Don't
best
even lie.
shit
Wait, okay, wait. What are you talking about? What are you talking
humanity
about?
has ever experienced.
You were dick riding.
No, you didn't even let me finish my thought. Okay, I was gonna say the first time we listened, Vaughn was like, "It's pretty good, but I don't really get it." And then like a couple of listens later,
Good.
he was like, "Oh yeah, no, this was crazy." At first, my first listen, I was like, "Oh, that was amazing." You know what I'm saying? But then a little bit more after like like 10 listens or so, I was like, "Okay, I can move it up." You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just picture you literally finishing the last track and be like, "Oh, that was amazing."
oh, I mean, it was though. It
Oh.
was like it was amazing. But yeah,
Oh, that was amazing.
Gorgeous.
I think the only thing I can criticize outside of the music is how Weiland has been promoting the album, which is like zero. Like you really have to be tapped in because honestly, tracks like "Dangerous Woman," tracks like
I think
"Mellotron,"
"Dangerous Woman" is fucking amazing.
that's
That
Billboard
should be like
Billboard
on the
hit
radio.
potential. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's just the only merch he dropped for this album was a fucking $1,000 jacket, like a two or like $140 like golf jacket, and then the record, which is $60 already, which is really steep. I bought it. I'm not gonna lie, I bought it, but look, like that's pretty steep for a record that's only one-sided. Okay, you need to chill on me. But like, I feel like if he promoted this album in a different way, other than being so like kind of mysterious as he is, I feel like we could have seen this really go high up on the charts. Like, because I'm telling you, tracks like "Dangerous Woman," I've seen people who absolutely hate Weiland, who are just like, they dick ride the hate train, but then they listen to this, they were like, oh, no more. I'm on the
I
dick
think
riding train for Weiland.
word
you
of
know what I'm
mouth
saying?
has been pretty successful in itself for this. I mean,
Word of
I
mouth
heard
has been
about it
Yeah,
successful.
I
just from you guys, realistically.
Yeah.
Everyone
But-
just
But that's
talking shit.
unfortunately, that's unfortunately not enough to get it like blowing up.
Yeah,
You know
obviously.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to
I
see
think "Broken
Weiland.
Ego" sounds like a TikTok hit to me.
Okay, you
Yeah,
need to
Broken
die,
Ego
bro.
fucking
You need to
slapped.
die.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You need to
What?
die. That's the one track with like DMV
I'm
breaks on it.
serious.
I don't care.
Exactly.
Okay, it's okay. I need to get out of my.
You're,
I need to stop gatekeeping. I'm sorry. I need to stop gatekeeping.
You need to stop gatekeeping.
I'm sorry. I'm literally talking about how I want to see him like get really big, and then I'm
Horrid
here.
gatekeeper.
I'm here gatekeeping from TikTok. Okay, TikTok is a dangerous tool. Okay, that's like Pandora's box.
TikTok is fire. So
I'm sorry.
Dangerous
TikTok's
tool,
like-
cry about
but-
it.
a dangerously good tool for artists.
That's true. That's true.
So
That is
when,
fair.
when it comes to underground indie artists, I'm all fucking for it. Like,
No,
I don't
that's
care if it means
Totally.
a bunch of white 15-year-olds are doing annoying dances to my favorite song, as long as
Yeah.
they're listening to it and the artist.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I would love to see some white boys dancing to Idol Stare. So
Oh,
I would
give us some
love to see
time.
that.
Give us some time.
yeah, exactly. But no, anyways,
Yeah.
moving along. I have nothing really else. Oh wait, album cover. I always like to bring it up. Fire album cover. I love it.
I love the album.
I
cover.
love
Yeah,
the album
it's pretty
cover. It's clean. It's
If-
really fire.
You know what? It's not my album of the year, but it might be my album cover of the year.
Oh,
I'm not
W.
gonna lie.
That dude,
I
we
love
should,
the album
bro.
cover.
We gotta drop a topster like that. We need to start doing that. Here's my favorite album covers of the year. So albums of the
I've
year.
done like
album
a
covers of
few
the year.
topsters of
Arguably
like,
a more important
Yeah,
ever.
I've done those too. I've done those too.
Okay, actually, I forgot Ethiops is kind of crazy, but
Oh,
Ethiopia
yeah.
this
cover's
is
kinda
up there
crazy.
for sure.
I mean, I'm done with zooming in on paintings. Okay, it's cheating. It's cheating.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
just
true.
zoom in on
That's
paintings.
true.
They're already beautiful. Everyone knows
it's
they're
already
masterpieces.
pre-made art.
That's true.
Pre-made art.
That's true. It's kind of
But it's
fraudulent.
still a fucking great
It's
album
like
cover.
sampling. It's
Yeah.
like sampling.
And you know, if we get into that, the album cover has like tons of significance to the whole.
Yeah, exactly.
So I accept.
Yeah, but okay, that's enough of Weiland talk. Am I right, guys? We need to move on.
I'd say so.
Top
yeah.
3
We need to move on.
tracks.
Give me your top. Okay, Oliver, give me your top 3 tracks.
Okay, off first listen, and this may be entirely due to
Mhm.
like the first listen experience. Broken Ego.
Yeah.
Dangerous Woman
Mhm.
and Slipping into the Void.
W. Slipping into the void is great.
All on the first half, but
L.
makes sense.
L.
Oh, why are you giving him an L? Hold on now.
I'm just kidding. It's
That's
a top
okay.
three.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
okay.
It's
I was gonna say that's a good top 3. Vaughn, give me your top 3, bro.
I'm gonna go Broken Ego. Well, actually, Dangerous Woman,
Oh,
number 1.
Okay.
Then Broken Ego and Can't Save Her.
Ooh.
That's one of the best 3-track runs of the year.
The way-
Can't Save Her
way-
would be fourth for
I
me.
love
Yeah,
those
the way
3
he
tracks,
starts off
yeah.
like by already singing and then the progression comes in, it was so fire. Like that gets you start to dance. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, W top 3 by the way. Okay, so here's my top 3. All right, I'm gonna have to go. My favorite song is actually I've 30 listens in. It's flips, but I gotta say right now, currently, I'm feeling Better Place as my number 1 track. Absolutely love
Okay,
Better Place. And I
interesting.
gotta go Can't Save Her, and then I'm gonna go Still Chasing After Happiness. That track is like insane.
Interesting.
I love that track so much. That one's
Interesting.
got that hard fucking. The drums are hard as shit. Like it goes crazy.
You
Fascinating.
just described
But
every song on the
anyways,
album.
that's true. That's true. Like I'm telling you, the progression is like so fucking good on this album. But
The
anyways,
drums fucking
Mid.
great across the whole album.
yeah.
Mid.
Okay, it's time. We talk about mid artist. We talk about a mid artist. Just gonna start it off. No, I'm
Kill
just kidding.
yourself.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's our Twitter picked album, as you guys know already, and we want to give a big thank you to Bryce or a Coral Room. He wins a lot, actually. He wins quite a good amount of them. But this week he recommended us Aaliyah's self-titled project. Aaliyah. Yes. Oh wow, Vaughn. Look
Unfortunately,
at that. Look at that shirt.
Vaughn is a famous hater of this album. Which
Yeah.
is why he bought that shirt just to burn it at the end of this stream. I mean, can you believe
Exactly.
it?
Yeah. So
Can you
Vaughn,
believe
I'm
it?
I'll
gonna
take
let
my
you
shirt
open it
off.
up. Tell me what you
Yeah.
hate about this album. Go ahead.
So
Give me a little. Actually, I need you to do me a favor.
I hate music.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tell me who Aaliyah is and then give me your thoughts. Because unfortunately, Aaliyah was one of those artists that my parents played like maybe 1 or 2 tracks, but they were never as big as some of the other artists they played. Like,
Okay, well, honestly, I don't really I can't really tell you that
mhm,
that well. I just know she was kind of a legend. I know she died tragically,
mhm,
way too young.
yeah,
Shortly after this album, I think.
yeah.
And
I feel like that's all the
I know
context. I
that,
guess.
and I know I've known her because of that, because of her untimely death for a while. I never tapped into music until a few months ago, and this album is just so good, dude.
Mhm.
This album is beautiful, beautiful R&B, catchy R&B, sexy R&B. The first 4 tracks alone. That the first 4 tracks to me are some of the best. Like honestly, like all 4, like just fucking perfect songs, dude. They're so catchy. They're so good. The instrumentals, the singing, bro. Like, dude, Timbaland kills it. Like More Than a Woman and We Need a Resolution are probably like my 2 favorite Timbaland beats.
Yeah.
More Than a Woman
And,
literally had me like mouth agape. Like what?
That's the reason I checked out this
Just,
album.
just when the beat
because of
hits in
that
for the
beat.
first time, like I was
Yeah.
literally walking my dog this morning, and I just stopped. I was like, I let the lead go. Dog ran into traffic.
It's
It was
insane. Dude.
pandemonium, but everyone
fucking
understood.
insane.
Everyone understood.
Everyone understood. You're listening to Aaliyah.
They got
And it's just like that beat. I heard that beat actually. One of my friends showed me the music video to that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this beat, dude?" Like it's just a fucking insane sample. Like it just sounds so good.
I didn't know
And,
Timbaland was capable.
I-
Shit like
Okay,
that.
that's
I knew
disrespectful.
Timbaland was
Timbaland's
a
fire.
goat.
Timbaland's
Yeah.
got some.
I know he's good.
incredible-
I know he's good, but still, this is on another level.
That's
I
true, that's
understand.
fair.
I understand. And even past those first 4 tracks, it's just great track after great track. And then I love also when it gets into like the last few tracks, like the last 4 or 5 tracks, where it gets really low key and like vibey and like.
Yep.
And there's like use of like some guitars and shit, and it's just really unique. Like I haven't really heard anything like that. Quite like that. There's stuff similar, but I just love her voice, and she just rides over these beats like perfectly. It's just such a good album, dude. Like I don't know. It's just like unfortunately I haven't dived into 90s and 2000s R&B as much as I want to, but I can't really imagine it being like topping this as like a full album. It's just so good, dude. It's just like consistent and some of my favorite songs of all time. So
No, I'm gonna come in real quick and just say like I said, Aaliyah was always kind of on my radar when I was a kid growing up. My mom really liked the song like We Need a Resolution. She really liked that song.
Yeah.
That was like the only song she played from her. So I never really was like, "Ooh, who's this girl?" Cuz she was just one of those artists that kind of fell with the sands of time for me. But then finally like I and then once I joined Twitter, like people would talk about her. You would see her kind of here and there. But I never really tapped in cuz I was always just listening to Sade, and I would never really tap into anything else kind of adjacent to this contemporary. So then eventually, thanks to Bryce, I actually finally got to listen to this for the first time. And man, I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is like insane. Like a lot of the beats on here are fucking gorgeous and beautiful. And like Vaughn said, later on, like bro, like some of the other tracks start to get like really like I was getting a little like sad in my feelings, because a lot of the tracks they're
Yeah.
really vibey, but like um I haven't looked at the lyrics, but like for just the feeling I was getting from listening to some of these tracks in the second half was just like I was just getting a little like oof, I was getting emotional, you know what I'm saying? Because she's just a fucking gorgeous singer. And I love the title that the people call her the Princess of R&B. I love that title. I think that fits her really well. Like I definitely see it. Does your shirt say that? Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I love her. I love her voice. It's just R&B singers when they really are something special, like they stand out among so many. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
like R&B in the 2000s was like really saturated, and that's why it kind of like I would say maybe kind of like fell out a little bit, and then it kind of moved into like new shit. Cause nowadays, you look at the R&B singers we have nowadays, they're all vibe merchants. Unfortunately, you have like Bryson Tiller. I
They're
can't.
vibe
I don't
merchants.
like Bryson Tiller.
They're vibe heads.
You have Black. I don't really like Black. I think
I
he's
like Black.
I think he's kind of
He has
he's
his
kind of boring
moments.
to me. There's I'm trying to think of some of the others. There's
Like
some off.
SZA is like the only like
SZA's the only one that's really
seriously
like
good
killing it.
one.
I guess
Right.
there's like Princess Nokia. She's chill, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it's very far and few between. But back then in the 2000s, it was like there were so many to choose from. Like you could choose like a handbasket and you'd get a good amount, because you had oh no, I was about to say D'Angelo, but he was like 90s, right?
D'Angelo, I wouldn't
Late
even put in the
90s,
same
right?
group because he wasn't really. He has 3 albums and he wasn't really making like super hits like
It was more
this.
soul
That's
kind of stuff, right?
It was,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
more soul. It wasn't really
Not like
that's
I know the
true.
difference.
Yeah,
R&B.
but I'd say that you could still put
Like
them in
Brandy,
yeah, Brandy. There you go. You had Nelly, pretty much.
Nelly.
You had Nelly. Nelly's fire. Come on, now, Nelly goes
Yeah.
crazy.
No, Nelly's fire. Yeah.
Yeah, you had
Sure.
well,
Usher.
I'm trying to put things within the scope of like the 2000s, because like 1990 2000s it is a weird kind of change. But yeah, you had a lot of contemporaries, and I don't know, man. She was just one of them that never went across me. But I'm so glad I finally checked it out, because it's so gorgeous. I love it. I'm probably gonna be replaying it a lot. Um, and she's super fire. But which track is Two Step, by the way? There's a Two Step song on here. Which one is that? I can't remember that.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I'm like that's
We're
so.
not
I didn't even
electronic
notice that.
merchants like you.
It's
You don't know
because
that.
looking at the rate your music.
I am looking.
tags
I'm
and
looking at
Yeah,
the
of
tags,
course.
and there's
tag.
there's a two step tag. There's a trip
I
hop
don't
tag
know.
too.
I don't know.
So I'm like, what
It
the
is a
fuck?
bunch of. That's the thing.
Trip
Is like
hop I can hear.
The trip hop,
I
like,
learned like listening to this album that there is a fine line between R&B and trip hop. Like there are subtle differences, but it crosses over a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like there are
Yeah.
a bunch of songs on this album which just kind of straddle that line and are both. It's like the R&B is from the singing, and the trip hop is from the beat. And
Yeah.
they kind of just come together just so well.
Yeah, and luckily I've been in like kind of a big trip hop phase. I've been listening to a lot of like Poison Girlfriend, Hooverphonic. I was listening to Portishead quite recently. So I was in a big kind of trip hop mood recently. So I'm glad this kind of was feeling that a little bit more, because trip hop has been so fire. I was about to say something really stupid, and I was about to say Cocktail Twins, but then I caught myself because I was like, they're not trip hop. So I don't know what I was thinking. It's just
I mean,
that's been
Elizabeth
that's been in my rotation.
The vibe is adjacent.
The vibe is
so
it.
Yeah,
The vibe is
very
adjacent.
very vibe adjacent.
Yeah, but anyways, I'm so glad this filled this void. But Oliver, you got to fill me in. What do you thought? Because
Yes.
was this your first time listening to it?
This was my first time listening,
Okay.
if you can believe it. I didn't know that R&B could R&B this good.
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna give you a pass on that.
I'm a- yeah, you-
Come
you
on,
gonna
let's go. Let's
You're gonna
I'll
get
give you a pass on that.
no
Let's settle
W's
down.
awarded, but
everyone settle down.
just move along. Just move along.
And I think I just think I want to know, which maybe will get everyone up in arms. I think for an album called Aaliyah, how do I pronounce the name?
Aaliyah. I think it's just
Is it Aaliyah? Aaliyah. Is the enunciation is on the E. Okay. Aaliyah, right? For an album called Aaliyah by Aaliyah, it's strange that Aaliyah is the weakest part of it.
Alright, That's
listen,
an L
listen,
award
listen.
right there.
These beats are masterful. Almost every single one of them is just like they've got that early 2000s like flamboyance and just like, but
Yeah.
they're so maximalist. Like I didn't realize that R&B, because my experience with R&B, as you said, like with all this boring ass like 2010s, Bryson Tiller, all that shit, very minimal, like just trying to establish a mood, a vibe, and then just like having some guy or some woman, croon over it for a good 2.5 minutes, and that's done, right? But this, there's so much going on. There's just so much going on, and
Yeah.
it'll work so well. The samples, the drums. That I mean, if I bring up the mixing, like I'm listening to this, even it's still in the 2000s, but 20 years ago, so much more dynamic than most of the shit coming out today. Like the quiet moments and the louder moments, there's so much more of disparity between them, and it's just like I really do miss that now, because of the loudness wars and whatever. We won't get into that. But let me elaborate on that Aaliyah comment, okay, about her singing, because I know that's very controversial, and I know I'm going to get pitchforks outside my house within seconds.
Yeah.
So let me defend myself.
I will kill you.
Yeah, no, listen. Allow me
W.
to make like Plato, make like Socrates,
Mm-hmm.
and defend
Okay.
myself in front of the Senate. Okay. Her singing, it's pretty. It's very soft, smooth, essential. It works over these songs well, like it fits. But she's kind of very unadventurous with it. Just kind of goes along with it, just having just like random vocal runs here and there. That with some great harmonies that sound good. But she rarely like goes much above like her comfortable tone of singing. And there are many songs where I feel like it would demand a more involved vocal performance, and she just kind of does the same thing, and it's a good thing. If you're gonna do the same thing, being Aaliyah and just singing that, it's a good thing to keep doing. But I just felt like by the end of the project, like I'd heard every vocal melody a million times. Like it was no longer new for me. I think there's one song that actually did stick out for me, for many ways. Read Between the Lines. Holy shit. Okay, firstly, just the production and the story and whatever of that song is good. Also, like her vocal melodies, like they're actually like kind of following like a progression. Like I don't know if you can, picture this happening in your head, but just the way that her vocals follow is just way more tangible and easier to follow, and actually feels like it's working with the song rather than just being on the song, which I feel like she's doing in a lot of the parts. And also the hooks, I don't think it needs that strong of hooks, because the production does like so much heavy lifting that it doesn't really matter. Like there are so many riffs and just like amazing little like instrumental runs, whether it be like horns on some, like MIDI horns or whatever they are on some songs, just some like crazy bouncy synths that are catchy enough that I don't need a really addictive hook from Aaliyah. I keep saying it wrong every time I say it. I'm like, Oliver, you've really done fucked it up this time. Aaliyah. I keep saying Aaliyah like the Muslim thing, but that's
Aaliyah.
the same thing. Aaliyah. So yeah, I think overall it's really great. It is really fantastic and really creative. But I do think that like the production and it does so much for it. It does so much heavy lifting, and I think she does a good job. But this is it's a backhanded compliment, because the production is really that good, and it kind of sets her up, because it is just like next level god tier shit, and she comes through with some good vocal performances, and with some of in the second half, it's more fitting, right? The songs slow down a little bit, and take a more classic, shall we say, R&B flair, and slow it down and give more space for her vocals, and that's when what she does works better for me. But it's kind of like it is a bit of a downside on one end, because that means that the production is no longer quite as interesting, because it's making so much space for her, and the production is really what I was into from the get-go.
Okay, you've talked enough. Oliver.
Yeah,
You know what?
That's
okay.
enough.
I'm done with.
Oliver,
You're
I'm done
Oliver,
out of
slandering
the podcast.
Oliver,
Aaliyah's name. I'm
Oliver.
done with it. I'm done with. I love the
You're
album.
done.
Okay, fucking great.
You're done.
Fucking
You're
great.
done.
Oliver,
Fuck you! I'm out
Oliver.
of here.
Oliver.
I think it's a valid criticism because honestly, first couple listens, I felt kind of the same way. I think it's just she does what she does very intentionally. If she were to take a more like if she were to do like crazier vocals on "We Need a Resolution," like a beat like that, or "More Than a Woman," I feel like it would take away from the album. It would be too much, man. I feel like what she does is like a balance with like the instrumentals, and I feel like, and as far as hooks go, I mean, it's an R&B album. It's not necessarily a pop album, and I think even then, some songs like "Loose Rap" has like fucking amazing hooks.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think like I somewhat agree with you, but I feel like you're just taking the more narcissistic, or not narcissistic.
The audacity.
You're just
The audacity.
you're just taking the more negative way to view it. You know, like glass. I'm like glass half full. You're like glass half
No.
empty. because,
I mean, I
you
know what you mean, but it really was just like
I
I
don't
really
know,
enjoyed it,
I
and I
think it
asked
just
myself,
works.
what could make this better? Like it was amazing, but I was like, something is missing. Something is missing here, and it was just like that extra oomph to the vocals. And maybe that's from my experience, my limited experience with R&B. I'm more used to like
I mean,
pop music that's, you know, more out there, maybe with
I
the
guess
vocals. And
yeah, I can see it. It's just like I just get into the vibe of it more, and like I feel like it's unique as well because I mean other singers would take a more approach to be more like take their I don't know how to say it, but you know what I mean, like just like more
I feel you.
just do more shit.
Yeah.
Just
No,
do more
that's-
shit, you know,
yeah,
like,
they'd
and
go
like
like,
take the spotlight.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
She's more
but,
subtle with it.
I think she's just more subtle, and
Mm.
I really like that. And I think it's really unique. And
No, I think it is.
A
But
vocalist that does that.
For me, like
Very well.
on one hand, and this maybe will be because she was so influential, but her vocals don't sound that unique to me because of all the R&B that she, you know,
Yeah,
very deeply
maybe,
influenced back down the
maybe.
line. I mean, surely, I don't know if this is actually the case, but I can imagine that a lot of female R&B singers working today or in the last 10 years have cited her as an influence. I would not be surprised.
Oh, I mean,
Because, you know,
Yeah.
being the princess of R&B, that's hardly going to be a shock.
obviously.
So yeah,
Anthony.
big fan.
is-
Yeah,
is
Anthony,
suffering
please,
on
Oliver.
that one.
Oliver, you
Tear
know
me
what
down.
I think? You know what I think? I think fuck you. I think one of your favorite singers is Joanna Newsom. Okay.
Whoa, we
Oh,
really
that's
we didn't
facts.
need to bring
That's facts.
Joanna into this.
I think you are
That's
a
facts.
metal merchant. I think you like the big angry guitar, and you haven't touched with yourself. You need to do some soul
I haven't
searching.
done what now? I haven't touched
Wait, he
with
hasn't
myself.
touched himself.
No,
What?
no,
Excuse
you haven't-
me,
you haven't-
Anthony touching
Oh,
himself to this
extremely
album?
No, what are you doing?
Anthony
Okay,
touching himself to Aaliyah?
no,
Is that what
okay.
you're doing? Oh, that's how you enjoy it. Okay, guys, just
I mean,
give me a
hey,
sec. Give me a sec.
No judgments here. No judgments
Okay.
here.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. That was good. That was good.
I
quite enjoying her vocals.
what I meant to say was you're not in tune with your heart. You haven't gotten intimate with yourself. Okay?
Wow.
You don't know how to
Dude, that's not
The-
a that's
the
the same
personal
thing. You haven't gotten
attacks.
intimate with yourself. What is
Listen,
wrong with
just-
you?
Just be blunt, Oliver. You need to jack yourself off.
You need to
Yeah,
master
No,
yourself.
stop,
this
stop
album.
That's what we're saying.
it's
That's what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
trying to say.
That's what you're saying.
Cut this out for Check Guys Kids.
What I'm trying
Look
to
at them.
say is that you are too masculine. You need to tap into your feminine side.
Oh,
You need to learn to love yourself. You need to learn how to love
Joanna
yourself.
Newsom is like the most female music out there, the most feminine shit that exists, and that's like my favorite female vocalist. I don't know if you can do
I
that.
don't know about that.
Okay, maybe
I
not,
don't know about that.
but like
I think
Not in the.
there's
have
something,
you
there's something to be
s-
said for that.
there aren't many female avant-teens. I'll say that much.
Yeah, there aren't too
For-
many
for a
alpha
reason.
female teens. You just need to learn how to turn on, get in the
Turn
bathtub.
on? Who needs to get turned on?
Stop. You need to learn how to.
Why do you say turn on the
What am I
bathtub,
doing in the
bro?
bar?
Can you just stop?
Listen
Why am I
You
getting
need to
turned on in the bar?
You need to
You
stop.
get turned on in the bar?
You need to listen to me. You need
I'm
to
listening.
light some candles, turn off the lights, get a little bubble
Okay.
bath going, and listen to some Aaliyah. Get in tune with yourself.
Okay.
Fix
And
yourself.
we'll stop it
Okay.
there.
Are there
Okay.
any other steps to this, or do we leave it up for interpretation?
No, I'm done. Y'all have
That's it.
y'all twisted my words beyond belief. I'm like a
We did not twist any.
Fred,
I'm like
no,
a
we
did not
just-
twist
I'm like a
We
pretzel
straightened them
right
out.
now. I'm like a
We
pretzel.
wrung
right
them
You are
out.
not a pretzel, bro. You are a pretzel stick.
now. Oh. Okay,
Truth.
whatever. Let's get into
Breadstick.
favorite tracks because y'all are
Ah,
y'all are
Tracks.
y'all are y'all are y'all
Messing you
are
up. I
putting
know, I
putting
know,
words
I know.
into a minority's mouth, and quite frankly, I'm not
Oh,
putting
we're
up with it.
pulling out the minority card.
Anyways, Vaughn, give me your top 3.
All right. Well, like I said, the first 4 tracks are just unbeatable to me. Loose Rap is so fucking catchy. I want to say, like, that song, when I first listened to this album, I repeated Loose Rap like 3 times in a row, dude. Like, I was like, holy shit, dude. I love this song. And More Than a Woman, obviously, and I think probably Rock the Boat.
W
Third. So,
W. Oliver, give me your top 3.
Number 1, it'd be a hot take. Probably Read Between the Lines. A little bit overlooked.
it's a great song. It's a great song.
It's either that or We Need a Resolution, so I'll put that in second place.
Yeah.
And then More Than a Woman for third. Just 3 fucking bangers.
That's
3 bangers.
W ranking.
And what about you, Anthony?
My top
Hit
3
us.
is I Can Be. It's my favorite track.
Great song.
Second favorite track
Great
is
pick.
We Need a Resolution.
Yep.
And then my 6th track, I Care for You.
Fire.
Yep, it's
W top 3s.
thank you
all around.
But yes,
W's all around.
that was a good talk until the very end where y'all were being a little bit
I think
weird.
that's when it got great.
I think
That's
was
when it got
yeah, I think
fantastic.
That
Highlight.
was the apex
Highlight
of
of the
the
stream.
guys.
not for me,
Highlight of the
not
stream.
not for me, not for me, not for me.
That's gonna get clipped. That's gonna get
Oh,
clipped.
baby. Mhm.
No.
To the moon.
No.
To the
okay,
moon.
okay. We need to move on because y'all are children. We need to
I
talk
think
about.
we need a resolution.
Ooh, I can write a resolution. I know how to write a resolution. I did my fair share
should
of
I
Model
write one?
UN. I know how to write a resolution.
Bruh, shut up.
Okay,
bruh.
anyways, let's get into the classic album.
Classic.
Picked none other than by our good friend Oliver. Oliver, what did you pick?
Of course, I picked Dots and Loops by the Stereolab. Only one of the greatest to ever do it, and one of the greatest albums to ever. These are some hefty claims, I know, but in my 30-minute dissertation, I will evaluate the reasons why it is the greatest album of all time.
Can I just say really quickly? It was either we listened to this album or Unwound. So I'm thankful to God we didn't have to listen to Unwound.
Fuck you, bruh.
So
Shut up.
unnecessary. So
So-
unnecessary.
that was actually
Can we
so
go back to the wanking in the bar
That was
thing?
so
Can
unnecessary.
we go back to that part?
No, we do not. Okay, go ahead, Oliver. Go ahead. Give me your
Okay.
thoughts.
I'm glad when masturbation was brought up in the chair, guys, we had a British person here to call it wanking.
Yeah, no. To really add a little bit of
Yes.
Some flair.
some British flair into it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Oliver.
So, Stereolab. This is a band that I've had. Well, actually, I was going to say limited experience with, but actually, that's the opposite. I've heard literally everything this band has done, from EPs, singles, whatever, up until this album, Dots and Loops, 1997. So that's most of their output, because I just started going through their stuff. At the start, I wasn't huge into them. I know everyone thinks transient radio bursts, whatever, is like their masterpiece, or whatever. But I was like, this has its moments, but whatever. But I could see that there was something in this band that was special, that they were not quite there yet with their sound. And with every single album from then, it just got more and more focused in every way. And then you have Dots and Loops, Magnum Opus, where their fully automated gay space communism comes into fruition. in a way.
Why do people say? I've seen someone else say that. Like, what?
Is
I don't
that
know.
what? Who said that? Yeah.
I don't know where it
'cause me and
originates,
Anthony
but
were looking at the rate your music comment box.
Someone said
and
that.
it was
oh
like,
shit!
Someone
oh,
literally
I've been
said-
caught. I've been caught. Fuck.
oh, it was you.
No,
No,
it wasn't
no, I
because
just-
it's not his account.
I just
Someone-
stole it.
Oh,
I just
okay.
stole it instead.
No, you just
Oh,
stole
okay,
it. You just
okay,
stole
yeah.
it.
I was
W.
inspired by it because
That's fair.
I added the communism.
I've done that
Actually, the
before.
communism
Okay.
part I had, but it was the gay part that I took to really
That's fair. W.
really give it some pizzazz.
Go ahead.
But but yeah, the sound of this album, the production is pristine, unbelievable. The drumming, you have songs like Brakhar, I'm gonna call it, or Breakage, whatever you wanna call it. Where you have like, I'm gonna ban myself from using the terms D&B or anything like remotely associated with that because I know Anthony will hit me with the. So I gotta be cautious. But very fast, rhythmic drumming in the opening track, something they'd never done before. And one thing that's very important for Stereolab, obviously they're very unique in many ways, but the vocalist, Letita Sedle, French as they all are, no, I've been practicing. I'll probably still fuck it up. She throughout her career in Stereolab, like one of my main issues with the band is that like I'd be listening to them and she would start singing and I'd be like, okay, then where's this melody gonna go? And she was like, I'm going this way. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you going that way for? You were meant to go this way. And I know some people listen to that and they go, oh yeah, that makes it really interesting, avant-garde, whatever. No, it doesn't. It's just very unsatisfying. But on this album, she finally figures out how to sing melodically. And the rest of the album is deeply melodic as well. So they actually go together extremely well. And this, it just feels, this whole album, it's just got like this unbelievably unique atmosphere of just being in this space station in like this retro futurist space station where just everyone is at peace and you're in some waiting room. I mean, there's a lot of influence from like lounge music and exotica, which I think is really interesting because that at the time, and still to this day, it's like very much maligned as a very uncool and not a style of music that modern experimental or alternative bands should explore. It was like, this was like, nobody did that other than Stereolab at the time. Like that was very pioneering of them to actually incorporate that in the sound. And it just adds this unbelievable, like intangible quality to it all. And just every time I listen to it, I just feel like I'm in the 50s and like you've got this optimism, this interstellar optimism going on, and that's like, and that's the thing is like if you look at all these lyrics, and that's the thing with Stereolab is that they're all like fucked up, most of them. Yeah. Like the songs are like it's a classic example of songs sound good, lyrics talk about horrible things.
Like actually, like on the first track, I actually did notice that because I went to go through and look at the lyrics. I was like, damn. Yeah, no, there's a lot of really interesting ideas.
Because it's communism, and the tragedy of socialism and communism is that it's been under siege and hasn't been able to, properly flourish, in the modern world. So, of course, there's some frustration there. But I think the difference between Stereolab and their outlook on, communism and socialism and a lot of other bands is kind of the optimism there, just like the peace that they have with their ideas, that they're not all doom and gloom. They're like, okay, this is a great idea, shit sucks right now, but maybe if we actually do something about it, we can make things better for everyone. And they focus on the possibilities rather than the realities, which I think is something you don't really see in a lot of socialist inclined art, because it is so tragic and gloomy, rightly so. But yeah, I mean, fuck, so many incredible songs on here. There's only 10 of them, but every single one of them just goes through amazing transitions. The synth work is just gorgeous. I mean, just one of the best produced albums I've ever heard. It's just like, it's candy for the ears. It just hits those spots in so many ways. Like, and they use such an amazing variation of instrumentation, like, the acoustic guitar on Rainbow Conversation. And then you've got like the Refraction and the Plastic Pulse, probably the best. I know Anthony's gonna have an issue with this. The best long form electronic track I have ever heard. in my life, hands down. The amount of transitions they go through and how each one somehow ends up being better than the last. I don't know how they do it. I do not know how they do it. And the album still maintains being weird. It doesn't like submit to any like pop sensibilities. It's not like a sellout album. It's just they understand themselves. They know they're not like a band that can necessarily do an 18-minute extended krautrock groove and make it interesting, as everyone thinks they can. They just don't have the physicality for that. But at this point in their career, they're just a single unit, and it's mesmerizing. Okay, I have gushed too much about this.
I wanted to
someone else.
I wanted to touch on the production because that was the thing that grabbed me the most when I first put the album on, and it reminds me a lot of that artists that I love, like Stevie Wonder and Steely Dan, where every instrument and every sound is chosen perfectly and everything is mixed perfectly and it just sounds fucking perfect. Like it's just like such a perfect like it's to the point where if it was all these instruments and it was just like an ambient album, I would still love it. But then you add on top of that the beautiful singing and the great melodies and just like the experimental like progressions of the songs and like the 17-minute song and like just like there's so much cool shit, dude. It's a beautiful album. Like I listened to this album like 2 years ago and I didn't really get it, honestly. Like I thought it was pretty cool, but exactly I thought it was too long. I thought it was like it just like the melodies weren't grabbing me. It was like it just felt like so long and repetitive, but I get it now. It's definitely clicked for me, and it's a beautiful album, dude. It's so beautiful. I love the 17-minute song. Even when I listened like a few days ago, it was like, okay, maybe this song's a little too long. And then the outro came in like the last like 4 or 5 minutes, and that is like maybe the best moment on the album, and it's so fucking good. And then of course the other parts of the song grew on me as well. The more I listened, it's a beautiful album, dude. It's just like I guess I'm saying beautiful, but
that's what it is. So like, what can you say?
So
that's the only way to describe it.
It just sounds gorgeous, dude. Like it's so good. I love it.
I just want to, I want to talk now. Because I want to fucking talk.
Fuck you.
I just want to say this album is terrible, from the beautiful singing to like the almost like really cracked out like instrumentation. You know, this album sucks. Like it reminds me of like Mort Garson going to Brazil. Actually, like that's what it truly kind of gives me the vibes.
Okay, listen, I take back the bath comments. I take them back. Okay, no, we never said it. It never happened.
Nah, but in all seriousness, this album is like amazing. Like I listened to it for Music Core Essentials month. My famous, very famous, you know, it's what gave me my crowning achievement as far as music goes. And I'm trying to find it. I loved it on first listen. I truly did, but I never really turned to it. But yeah, I wrote. Okay, I'm not gonna read what I wrote. Never mind. But anyways, I returned to it luckily because Oliver was like, we're gonna talk about this, and so I listened to it, and I kid you not, once I got to Refractions and the Plastic Pulse, which is the like 17-minute track, I was like, man, this album has a lot of tracks on it, and I was like, oh wait, I was like, okay, and I was like, wow, this has been spectacular. And the first song just alone, like if the first song is like perfect to me. Like I love her singing. I finally read the lyrics literally just before this, and I was like, yeah, she's talking about all these stupid things and like how everyone is so stupid. It's like really, it's jarring because it's such a paradox to itself. But I do stand by that kind of description as how I see the album. It's like it's this like electronic heavy production over very regular like exotica, very regular like lounge-esque music. So it does feel kind of like a Mort Garson going to Brazil kind of thing, because it does kind of have that. It doesn't exactly sound like a Moog almost, but it definitely is in that kind of realm. And also, like, on the last track, Contro Natura, that literally feels like a track that could be on, like, VDC. Like, that track is very, like,
I was gonna
like,
say...
that guitar sounds so similar to
Can we mention the beat drop on that song?
Yes, it's
the beat switch.
Yeah, it's fire.
That's part on the entire album. How do they
It's up there.
Crazy.
Yes, it's up there.
Unbelievable.
No, but like actually, I'm so glad I returned to it because I really realized the like genius of this album, because it's just flooring at most, and it's something nice that you can also turn on, just kind of like I listen to a majority of this album at school, and just kind of like going around doing my things at school, and it just worked so well. Like it's just so happy, it's so vibrant. I love it, but at the same time, it isn't happy and it isn't vibrant, but. I don't know. It reminds me of an album I hope we get to talk about one of these days. Is Club de Esquina by Milton Nascimento and Lo Borges. That is an
Yes.
album that obviously, because it's in Portuguese, not a lot of people are gonna know what it's talking about. But a lot of it has to do with the revolution in Brazil and kind of how the government has been like putting them down, and how like one of the dudes who sings sees like morbid things outside of his window and dead people and shit like that. But yet the album is so beautiful and vibrant and sunny.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that unless you sat down and actually read the lyrics and did your time. And so it's just one of those things that's like, nowadays people can just listen to it and enjoy it for the beauty. But maybe back then, like in 1997 when I guess was being discussed, because I don't know what 1997, like 2000s France was like really, but maybe they were trying to have like a little communist thing going on. But like I feel like context with albums when they were released is like super important, and I feel like this probably has a really great story to it that I would probably love to talk about a little bit more. But also the krautrock track, I'm guessing that would be Refractions in a Plastic Pulse, or in
Well,
the
what
Plastic Pulse.
the one I was referring to.
I mean, yeah, it has a
No,
it has a krautrock descriptor.
I mean,
Or
yeah,
a
it is
subgenre.
like they used to do like full on krautrock, like their first
Oh, really?
like not their first album, their second album after that, like very heavily krautrock influenced. Like a lot of people would honestly just call it like new worship. Like
Oh.
it really was to that extent.
Huh.
Like,
But I
are you
feel
saying
like
Peng, the album Peng?
no, Peng wasn't. Peng was just like noise pop stuff. But after
Oh,
that,
okay.
like Transient and
Okay, yeah,
there was the album they made after that, whatever it's called.
yeah,
So those albums very heavily krautrock influenced. They were just obsessed with what was going on in Germany at that time. Well, it wasn't that time. It was at that point. It was like 20 years old. Like that scene had already happened, been and gone. But I think it's only on this album that they learn to take what works with them about krautrock and leave the stuff that doesn't. Like they take the grooves, like the really hypnotic grooves from it, but leave the noisy experimentation, which they were never as good at as they were with the melodic stuff. So I think that is where, like, on Refraction Plastic Pulse, like, the krautrock influence is amazing because it doesn't overwhelm it. It works with it.
Yeah, because me and Vaughn, I'm pretty sure me and Vaughn have only listened to this project. I don't think you listened to anything else, because I remember
No,
us talking.
I've listened to a couple other ones, but
Oh,
they were
really?
also like 2 years ago, and I don't really.
You
remember
really,
them,
guys,
so.
honestly,
yeah.
like, that's all I'm listening to over the last like 2 months is Stereolab. It's insane band. So many amazing records.
Yeah, because like
I'm
I look
definitely
at
going back
AB.
in, diving
Yeah,
back
their
in
next
after
highest
this.
rated thing is like ABC Music, and so I'm interested in checking
I-
that out.
Okay.
What's that? I think that's like a compilation, right?
Like
or like some kind of like
yeah, it looks like
archival
a
recording.
compilation or
Oh,
something.
It's
then in
definitely-
that case,
Like that.
okay, yeah.
As the resident Stereolab expert, just have any questions.
So wait,
let's
so
see
but in
what-
general, are you saying that this is like really like, this is the only album that they've done this kind of sound in, or there are other albums that can be adjacent to this?
No, there are, because there's a very clear and noticeable progression, and that's why I found it so rewarding going through the discography chronologically, because you really see them learn from their mistakes and grow into a better and more cohesive band over time. But the album after this is the one I'm digesting at the moment. It's like they go full like prog pop. They take all of like the more maximalist aspects of what's going on in Dots and Loops and just take it to their next level. I find that it's like they sacrifice a little bit of the cutesiness and the catchability in that aspect, but I'm still working through it. But regardless, they have a bunch of albums that are very like cohesive in some ways. Like Mars Zodiac Quintet. It's just like a fucking indie pop krautrock. It's weird. There's nothing else like it. And the synth, because that's what makes them so special, I think, well, of many things, is that the synths they use, they're all very vintage, like analog synths.
Yeah, that's what I
You
said.
get
That's
these-
what I was saying.
Yeah,
like,
you get these
Orchard-
super thick, nostalgic tones that just engulf you, and it's just beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. No, like, and that is just a perfect descriptor of this album. It's just that it's gorgeous, it's warm, it's very futuristic. Like, it's just
It's futuristic, but it's like it's a one hand futuristic, but it's also
Yeah.
you know a little
It
bit.
feels like
Yeah,
it feels
because
like
of the
it feels like an 80s
electronic.
vision
It feels
of what
exactly,
futuristic
yeah,
would
exactly. It's like it is very retro futuristic. I don't think there's any album I listen to that
Yeah,
captures
yeah.
that sound. In fact, this
Hmm.
band in general, that's their sound. Like even from their earlier stuff, like this is where they truly perfected it
Yeah.
in my eyes.
No,
But
no,
they
this
always doing that stuff. It's
this was
great.
the album that was like, I need to look at more lounge, more space age pop to see what is behind these doors, because there is some like really cool stuff. And unfortunately,
Mm.
I've not gone to look at more like space age pop type stuff. Really, only Plantasia. But this was really the one that was like, I need to check out more lounge. I would say Indietronica, but unfortunately, Indietronica is kind of hit or miss.
Electronica is very broad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
broad and also just kind of hit or miss in general.
Like,
when I look
I
at
wouldn't
these
even
things.
I would hardly even call it a genre.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
experimental rock. Just
Yeah.
rock that happens to be experimental. There's no through line between
Yeah.
other experimental rock products. It's just like a classifier.
No, but like,
I wanted to touch on just the VDC comparisons
Mhm.
because that was the first thing I thought of as well, because VDC is one of my favorite albums, and I know in the Pavlich episode we were talking about albums that may have preceded it, and it's like, oh, this sounds like nothing before it, and for some reason I didn't hear it like a year or two ago when I first listened to this, but this had to be like the biggest influence on Sweet Trip, dude. Like there's so
100%.
much to the from the tone of her voice and the marriage of like real instruments and electronic synths and drums and stuff. Like there's so much similarity there, but they're also so unique
mhm.
to Sweet Trip as well.
I mean,
So
there was one guy when I was posted about this on Twitter a while ago, and I posted about refractions in the plastic pulse, and one guy replied to this post saying that Sweet Trip ripped off, like, just completely unashamedly stole like the first movement for one of their songs. I'll try and find the tweet, but I can't remember what it is. But regardless,
Amazing.
it's pretty clear that there was some like heavy influence, and what a fucking band to
Yeah.
take influence from. It's no wonder that VDC is fucking amazing as it is, if this is where you get your
Yeah.
influence from.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, good album. I'm a fan,
Great album.
gotta say.
Great album.
Yeah, I know. And actually, they're playing
Yeah.
in DC sometime soon, so I might go and see if I
come
can
on,
go out
you
and see if I
serious?
see them.
I would fly out. I would fly
Yeah.
out. You got a spare bed for me?
Are
man?
there shows good? Have you
I've
been to one of their
watched.
shows?
Oh, I wish. I mean, I've only got into them in the last like 2 months,
Okay.
so haven't had the opportunity
yeah.
yet. But I've watched a bunch of their live sets, and Letitia still sounds amazing. Literally just exactly the same as she did. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, with a lot of bands in general, especially ones that have been going for years and years and years, decades and decades, is the key point that is the make or break is how competent the singer is compared to how they were. There are some singers that develop and they get a more experienced and maybe lower and gruffer tone, and that can work for their music. But
Yeah.
a lot of the time, it's just like they just can't hit those notes. They can't sing like that anymore, and it's just you go to these shows and you're
You
like,
haven't been keeping it
Kind of
up.
like Bob
and
Dylan.
You gotta treat your voice like
exactly.
a car or
Oh yeah,
something. You
like Bob
gotta keep it
Dylan.
up.
What was
Yeah.
that like? I don't think I ever asked you
Oh,
what that was like.
the Bob Dylan concert for the update. It was good. I actually had a fun time. I danced with a bunch of 50-year-old white women, and like it was.
You
it
were
was
the
just
youngest
fun.
guy there. You must have been.
Yeah, we were definitely like some of the youngest people there, and like his singing is. I'd say it's serviceable. Like I wasn't like blown away. I wasn't like, damn, this is that Dylan that I wanted. But like, it was fine. After the first couple of tracks, I was like, okay,
Shit.
it started to set in. I was like, oh god, I'm gonna be here for like an hour and a half. And after a while, it just kind of like it was just like, okay, this is fine. Like I need to stop being so critical. Like I know
I mean,
I just had to accept the fact that I wasn't gonna get the Bob that I wanted, and so then
I mean, you don't go for Bob Dylan anyway for the vocals. Firstly, I mean, at least
you go for the white women. You go for the white ladies.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, it goes without saying. It goes without saying.
Yeah, exactly. But
Go for the
no, I do
balls,
agree
bro.
with that, and that's why I was like, that's why I asked you. I was like, is Stereolab any good? Because I was like, I'm not gonna go to a band who's like damn near been playing for over 30 years now.
Yeah, no,
they're
go.
not that good.
Don't miss it.
Yeah,
Don't miss it.
I'm interested. I'm gonna start listening to the rest of their discography, because I mean
Definitely do.
I've been looking at a lot of descriptors, and like you mentioned, their whole krautrock thing. I absolutely love krautrock. I love
It's
noise.
just got such a unique, they've got such a unique sound.
No,
You would
like,
love it. It's literally,
I had to.
it's kraut pop. It literally is like kraut
see,
pop.
I
can't
absolutely love.
imagine.
Crazy.
I love noise so
Yeah,
much.
genuinely that album specifically is the most like cited influence for that.
Hollow Gallo is like one of the most perfect songs to me ever.
Yeah,
I
and they
listen
have
to it
there's
like almost daily.
yeah, it's amazing, and they have a song called Jenny Ondialine on their second album,
Mhm.
which is basically just that.
That's fire.
It's just Hello Gallo, but a little bit longer and not as
Yeah.
good. But you
Okay.
know, the
I
bar is
wanted
pretty
to-
high.
Fair.
The bar is pretty
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm glad we did this as well, because I've been watching Better Call Saul, and
Mhm.
there's a scene where Kim is listening to a song in the headphones. I was like, what is that? And then Shazammed it. It was fucking Stereolab, and I was like, holy
Wait,
shit.
Wait, which episode?
Oh yeah, fuck,
Yeah.
you're right. This wasn't the most recent season. When
Wait.
was that?
I think it was like one of their. I think it was season 4.
I'm actually sure. I think it was like
Um,
Laboob Oscillator or something. They have some really hilarious names.
It was like, I think, one of their earliest albums.
That sounds cool
I think-
then.
Oh no, I think it was on Bang. I think it was on
cool.
Bang.
It was a
actually.
cool moment. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I gotta get back into Stereolab because Kim Wexler from Better.
You do.
Call
I
Yeah.
mean, she has taste. I mean, if Kim
Um,
Wexler likes it, I mean,
Yeah,
what are you
exactly.
doing with yourself?
Yeah.
It's like,
Speaking
yeah.
of which, I actually just caught up. I need to start watching season 6 now, so I'm excited. I'm about to watch
Well,
it.
you're not caught up then.
Well, I'm caught up with
You're
like I can
3
now
episodes behind.
Liar.
Actually, but
I can now watch
Shame.
I can now watch the episodes. You know what I'm saying? Like in
Mm.
season 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not
It's
get
getting
spoiled
crazy, man.
because it's getting to a point where people are talking a little too much, and I'm about to get spoiled, and I'm gonna be
It
really
is dangerous.
upset.
It is a
It's
dangerous
getting
time to be on the
crazy.
internet for a Better Call Saul fan that's not caught up.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
Yeah.
because
Dangerous,
I
dangerous
mean, I wish they did not spoil it, but Walter and Jesse are supposedly gonna come in somehow.
Yeah, that was a
but,
huge tweet. It was like
It was-
400,000
Okay.
likes on Twitter. I was
Yeah.
like, you couldn't miss.
I'm not gonna lie. If you've been watching Better Call Saul, and if you've been following like their interviews previously, like Vince Gilligan has said it many times, like he would love for them to come back at
Mhm.
any.
No, yeah.
I've
It
never-
makes
I've
sense.
never
And
watched
like
it. I've
if
never
you're
watched it.
thinking about how the show's progressing as well,
Yeah,
I thought it
the
was pretty
timelines
obvious,
are very
honestly.
close to intersecting.
Like I thought it was pretty obvious that they would make a cameo or something.
Mm.
So I mean, they're gonna come back. I'm just glad they haven't spoiled in what capacity. Like they could come back for like 20 seconds, or
Yeah.
they could have like multiple episodes with them. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I mean,
I-
that did happen in season 5, where just like Hank and Gumi just showed up like immediately, and they had their
Gumi.
kind of
Gumi.
episode. Oh, Gomi.
Yeah, I love
No,
how they
I'm
did
good
that,
with
'cause
Gumi.
it was,
I think Gumi
yeah.
works better.
Yeah,
Gumi.
I love when they bring back characters from Breaking Bad. It's like they have like a really cool entrance shot,
Mhm.
and then but it's not too flashy. Like they don't overdo it.
Yeah.
They just have like a really cool entrance. Like they soak in the moment, but they don't make it like a whole.
It's not like
like,
fan
or
service. It's
anything.
like, yes,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, it's
get
not
it.
fan
You like
service,
his
it's not fan
character,
service.
but he's here for a reason. He's
Yeah,
here for
that's
a reason.
goated.
Yeah.
That's goated. But okay,
Okay,
we're
we
gonna
never
yes,
gave our
we need
top
we
3
need to yeah,
tracks,
we got a little off track. Let's get Oliver. Give me your top 3.
Okay, this is extremely hard. Okay, but
Okay.
number 1, Rainbow Conversation.
Ooh.
The
Yes.
acoustic. Oh, it's just and that like what is it? Is it like a xylophone or like a kalimba or something? Like
I don't know.
It's hypnotic as fuck. Her
Something.
best vocal melodies, unbelievable hook, masterpiece, probably their best song.
Completely
They're like
agree.
I feel like
I
whole
completely
discography,
agree.
and I've heard like literally every song they've ever made. Diagonals, second the bass line on that boy
Yeah,
goes hard, and then probably Refractions. Refractions of Plastic Pulse. Just 17 minutes of just bliss. There we have it.
My favorite track is also Rainbow Conversation.
Taste.
So good, bro.
It's
And then first track, Breakage, Breakage or whatever. I don't know.
fire.
It's fire. Brahage.
Brah.
Okay. And then Refractions and Plastic Pulse.
Mhm.
Crazy.
Born with the
Crazy song.
taste. You have a lot to live up to now, Anthony. Okay.
Okay, I'm taking my favorite track is Parsec. That's my favorite track.
Bold.
Fire.
Oh, it's got.
That
Oh,
might
it's
be
got
like
the.
fourth
It's got the
for
D
me.
and B drums. It's got
Yeah.
of course, Anthony has his favorite
Yeah.
track.
Guilty as
The
charged.
key, the key to his soul.
Okay. Anyways,
Charged.
Easy.
then the next track I'm taking is probably Contra Natura. I absolutely love that track. Like that's one of the
Yeah.
best closers ever for me.
Same.
And then
Damn.
it's a no-brainer, but I will say it is kind of tied between Bracage and Refractions of the Plastic Pulse. But I'm gonna have to give it to Refractions and the Plastic Pulse because that track is just like a Goliath. It's a behemoth. I understand why people love these like long-winded songs because it shows like how crazy it is. You know, like there's just so much to appreciate in movement and stuff and how it sounds so like fluid and such. And so yeah, I definitely see why people hype hype that track up, and just kind of long-winded music in general.
It's just, and the thing is, it's just like 4 mini songs put together.
Yeah, it's
Like it doesn't. It's not like
yeah.
it doesn't
It's
draw out the same
long-winded
idea.
music.
Long-winded.
It's
Hey,
just like-
another beautiful
It's a
long-winded
new
track.
genre just dropped.
Another new genre just dropped.
genre
Long-winded
just
music. We got a long-winded
Long-winded music.
masterpiece this year actually.
Which one?
5-star crest for Vaternum.
Oh right,
That's
Yeah.
a long-winded. That's
that's a long-winded
that's a
I'm not
long-winded
drained,
song.
I
I just
wouldn't
created a new genre.
W.
Oliver, why are you not drained?
No, that's a W.
Actually, okay, that's a W.
Oh,
Let's not
Actually,
get it twisted.
we want to make
Let's not get it twisted.
we want to make a formal announcement, ladies and gentlemen. DG, as in Drain Gang, over. You know who we're bringing back?
Over.
We're bringing back
DG,
Death Grips.
Death Grips.
Death
Let's
Death Grips
go!
militia
Let's
is
go!
Death
back.
Grips is coming back, ladies and gentlemen.
Death Grips is back,
Death
About
Grips is
time.
back.
and they're back with a vengeance.
We need to reject modernity and embrace
Modern-
tradition, ladies and gentlemen. We have
embrace
we have
the
gone
tradition of MC Ride and Death Grips.
embrace
and Zach Hill and Andy
and
Mills.
long live the queen
the
and
gods
long live
of
the queen.
noise rap, industrial hip hop.
Oliver, how many more years do you give it until the queen kicks the bucket?
Years. That's giving her a lot of credit.
years.
I gotta say, I give it
Years.
seconds. I mean, I'm counting down.
I thought she-
counting down the clock right here.
I
okay.
thought she was gonna die. Like
God bless,
there were
but-
like some headlines a few months ago.
Yeah, like
and I
what-
thought for
yeah, like-
sure
They
she was
they
about to
soft
die.
launched her death. They're starting. You know, everyone's preparing. They know. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
they
You
know.
know, it's the worst kept secret in the British Commonwealth these days.
That she's dying or she's
Yeah,
going to die
the
soon.
worst.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm convinced they're like Weekend at Burning it right now.
Yeah.
They're just,
I think she's already died. Yeah, I think she's.
I wish
Next
I wish I could go to the UK again and
Okay.
experience the Queen's death. No, I loved London. If
And
only
it's
I
cool to
watched
visit, yeah.
if only I had watched Train Spotting before I went to London, I feel like I would have enjoyed it a lot
Harry
more.
Potter.
Because you would have been doing heroin instead,
Potter.
which always
Harry
makes
Potter.
a good time.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Potter.
I went to the
Harry
the
Potter.
little platform, you know, the tourist attraction thingy, because
Oh, yeah.
Because I was in my
course.
Harry Potter era. I was like 12.
Did you,
the
did you run
train
into the
station?
wall? Give yourself a broken
No,
nose.
no, but I did run into a terrorist attack when I was there. So
Are you serious?
yes, the
What?
the London Bridge attack where the dude ran over
Oh,
people in the
fuck.
van. I was on that bridge, and we had to go home.
What?
Our
You
hotel
were
was
there?
yeah, our hotel was right next to the Abu Dhabi
What the
Exchange Center, which like everyone was like freaking out there at the Abu Dhabi Exchange Center. So
You were on.
Yeah,
You were on the bridge
I was yeah.
while the guy was like.
You were on the bridge.
Knife
when it
out.
happened?
No, it wasn't a knife. He had like a van, and he
Oh,
like
yeah?
ran people over.
Oh yeah, fuck. Then he got out with a knife, didn't he? I don't know.
I think so, something
But
like that. I don't know.
I
There's
get
too
mixed
many.
up
There's
with
too
my-
many
with my
terrorist attacks.
Yeah,
There's unfortunately
yeah.
too many
That's
terrorist
insane,
attacks.
dude.
Yeah.
R.I.P. London.
Cotton Dad.
Glasgow-
He killed everyone
Glasgow-
in London. That was
Gla-
it.
R.I.P. London.
Glasgow
That
fell
was
on.
it. Took out all
Do you
of
think?
us.
Do you think if there was like a 28 days later, like would you survive in 28 days later universe?
I mean, if Godspeed is playing like it does in the film, I think
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think
They do play. They do.
that would
play,
give
yeah.
me enough hope to
That's
really
fair.
push through.
I would
So,
just
yes.
kill myself right then and there.
You would just
Yeah.
kill yourself. If you woke
Yeah.
up and
It's not worth
Godspeed was
living.
playing.
Yeah,
Like,
not
if-
even.
if-
Yeah, not
if-
even.
playing-
Not 28 days later. You just wake up
Yeah.
in your bed. Godspeed's playing. You're like, fuck it, I'm out.
That's
This is too
worse.
much.
That's
This is too
worse.
much.
Like at least let me have my coffee first before like I have to listen to Godspeed, you know. No, but okay. I don't know. I'm just fucking around. But yes, no. I want to go back to
Sounds
London
cool.
and like listen to some certain music. You know what I'm saying?
Some
I need to get on a
Stereolab.
bus and I need to listen to Burial.
You
I
didn't. You
listen
didn't
to
get on a
Barry.
bus. Oh, you gotta go to McDonald's in London. Listen to
McDonald's
McDonald's.
at
That's
night
Hey, bro,
at like 1
I do that
a.m.
on the
Yeah.
regular. That's just my life. I live like that.
That's so.
Yeah.
funny,
Could you
dude.
believe that? Could
How can you
That's
live
so
with
fire.
yourself living in London?
Bro, I
don't-
need some
I don't.
McDonald's right now. Bro.
Yeah. No, but
I might get some McDonald's after.
I
this,
need to
bro.
I need to get some food also. But I think that's enough. That's enough banter. You know. Actually, well, I think
Dude,
I think
our episodes are running so long lately.
think-
like,
well,
we've
that's-
gone from
that's good.
Like hour average to like hour 20.
no,
averages.
that's good
It's
because like
crazy.
honestly, that's showing that the discussion is well. But actually, I want to end
Yeah.
off each episode
Yeah.
having this quick little thing, and I've been doing it for the past couple episodes. Vaughn, how's your week with music been?
Oh, dude. I mean, it's been pretty good. Nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been I've been listening to some Jay-Z, you know,
L.
some David Sylvian.
Okay.
Actually.
Oh, my
You know,
guy.
a bit of an eclectic week. I want to shout out. I mentioned Cocteau Twins like an episode or 2
Mhm.
ago, but their album Four Calendar Cafe is so underrated, dude. I think honestly that's like their second best album to me,
W.
other than
W.
Heaven in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I love that album. Check it out if you haven't. If you're a Cocteau Twins fan and you just haven't checked it out yet, you know,
Mhm.
I would definitely check it out.
Oliver, my boy, what about you? What have you been listening to?
Well, it's been very much a mixed bag. I
Mhm.
mean, I discovered the magic of liked songs the other
Okay.
day. Right? I
Oh,
went through.
yeah.
I literally spent hours getting rid of a bunch of shit like songs, reliking my biggest playlists, and I was just shuffling through, you know, listening to old stuff, getting reacquainted with shit I hadn't heard in a long time. That was
Yeah.
nice. Exactly. No. I'm still on the Beatles wave. I never was off. Man,
Okay.
look, you got fucking the guys, the boys are right there, right there.
Go
boys.
On the wall,
go
baby.
in.
The boys
in
Let's go,
blue.
man.
The boys in
The
blue.
boys in blue. But
No.
other than that, I mean,
Boys in White.
Saint Vincent, Strange Mercy is an album I've been really fucking with recently. I listened to it for the first time a while back,
Mhm.
and I was just like, and I thought Cruel. I don't know if you guys have listened to it. Cruel is a banger, or one of the singles
Have
from
not
it.
tapped into Saint Vincent.
Really,
yet.
really recommend. It's like
Not tapped in.
her-
Not tapped in.
she has. It's like it's amazing, like art pop, realistically, with just like the most
Anthony's like,
insane guitar tone.
Have
I mean,
not
I don't know how
tapped
she does it.
in. Will not tap.
Yeah,
in.
that I was about to
Anthony's
say. I was like,
Whoa.
haven't been tapped in. Will not tap in.
Wow. Okay.
No,
Well, I haven't
I'm just
listened to Doritos and Fritos, the new 100X song, which actually bops. It was
Oh,
hard.
honestly,
I thought you
I
were
was-
referencing Mad Villainy. I was like, oh, that's good. And I
It
was
is-
like,
it is
Well,
a Mad
100
Villainy
Gex
reference.
was-
it is a
That's
Mad
the
Villainy. Yeah.
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 I thought it was alright. I thought it was.
I haven't
alright.
listened to
I'm
it.
definitely not. I'm not that big into 100 Gex anymore.
Yeah.
But
Neither.
I thought I'm glad that they're kind of going slightly different direction. You know,
Mm.
like away from like the fucking
Hyperpop shit.
obnoxious
Yeah.
vocals.
Yeah.
But
and
for
stuff.
me,
Like
for me,
they're still a little obnoxious.
it was
but
just
I like the
it's
beat
still
of
it's still
it.
obnoxious and like, you know, overblown. That's kind of the whole thing. But for me, it was just a novelty
yeah.
of seeing 100X do like a dance punk track. I just think it's fun. You know, they have
Yeah.
they have the energy for
I
it.
think the instrumental was really.
Oh, but you know
fucking
another
cool.
song as well. Have you guys heard "American Terrorist"?
Yes,
By
by Arch
Arch
But
Nephew.
yeah,
Yeah,
Arch Nephew.
Yeah.
The hands
Great
down
song, dude.
funniest song I've ever heard. I don't laugh. Yeah, I
It's-
don't laugh at music. Music, you know, you listen to Frank Zappa, which is meant to be funny, and you just kind of cry a little bit, you know, because you know he just makes the same fart joke for 20 minutes and you know
Yeah.
plays a violin a little bit.
Yeah.
I like
But
Hot
this- It's good. It's a good album. It's a good album.
It's
This
actually like
comedic
laugh out loud
masterpiece.
funny.
Lads. Mhm.
Yeah.
so every line is just like
I love Arch Nephew.
Yeah.
glorious. Yeah, I need to
Yeah,
get more into him. This is the first song of his.
That's probably his best song. Yeah.
Yeah,
fucking- fucking slaps.
that's a W. But
real
I
banger.
fuck with your picks. I fuck with your picks.
What about you,
but,
Anthony? What have you
me-
been listening to?
Literally just Vices. I think I'm getting close
Yeah.
to 400 scrabbles on Vices. But I will say during physics, like in my physics class, what I would do to like listen to work is I just listen to You're the Snitch. I found out I'm tired of pretending. You're the Snitch is my favorite Death Grips project, hands down.
Bold,
I also want to say
bold.
I want to show some love because Powers of B Disc 1 is my favorite.
Yeah.
But
Just two, baby.
second,
Get out of here.
nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Second, No Love Deep Web is so underrated, bro. That album slaps so hard, bro.
Yeah,
It slaps so hard.
it's
bro.
it's a,
It's so catchy.
No
it's
Love for
so
Bottomless
fucking-
Pit?
I love this.
We really just gonna leave Bottomless Pit in the pit. In the
I
bottomless
love
pit.
Bottomless
No,
Pit.
no, I love
but
Bottomless Pit.
honestly, I love all their albums.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true,
gonna
yeah.
rank a
Yeah.
little lower. for me.
I actually
More
bought.
of a
It's funny.
drink
I keep forgetting about it. They did a record store day release for for the Powers That Be, both sides, and I bought it on vinyl, so it
Mhm.
should be coming to my house
Oh,
in like September-ish.
nice. very nice.
So,
That's crazy.
so yeah, they did
Smart,
a
man.
release. It's like a red record. So I'm
So we
pretty
know they're
excited.
still alive. They're breathing. Maybe, you know, maybe have access.
I don't know.
to,
I mean,
you know,
I have
music
hope.
making
I'm
technology.
holding out hope, but I don't expect.
It's
another
Death Grips.
Yeah.
album.
If you don't expect anything, and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm not.
I think it says a lot that the last song on their latest album is called "Disappointed." I honestly
They
I
knew
saw
what they
like a
were
little
doing.
theory about that, and it kind of convinced me like I think this is gonna be their last album, but I hope not. I hope not.
I mean, I'd be okay
Well-
with it because You're the Snitch is my favorite. So
Have any of you seen them live?
no,
No.
I watched their
That's
boiler.
the
I watched
main
their
reason
boiler
I
room
wanted
set.
to
I
come
watched their
back.
boiler room set.
And then you ask, Oliver, have you seen them live? What do I say?
Yes.
I say yes.
Damn.
Yes,
Really?
yeah,
What tour? What
yes.
tour?
It was at a festival, an outdoor festival in London.
Mm-hmm.
And their performance has my number one most memorable concert moment, which was they walk onto stage, not even noticing the audience is there, obviously, very Death Grips fashion. They sit down, or like Andy gets on the keys and he's like, and then MC Ride, he's like looking around, takes his shirt off, stands stuff, and then you have Andy, or Zach Hill, he's on the drums, and everyone's just watching and like everyone, they can hear a pin drop, it's such anticipation, and then just like that, Guillotine starts, and everyone, I remember like everyone just floats, like the entire crowd just like leaves the floor, everyone jumps in motion at the same time. I see like beers in slow motion, like flying everywhere. Like I was like after this, I was stoked. I lost track between the line between beer, sweat, my sweat, other people's sweat. There's certainly a acquired taste for experience like that. But it's Death Grips, so I didn't really give a shit.
That sounds amazing.
It was great.
Sounds amazing.
I need to flex this.
I need them to come back at least for like a show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I need to flex really quickly every time Death Grips gets brought up. Andy Morin follows me on Instagram, so that's cool as shit. Yeah, Andy Morin follows me on Instagram. I have no why, because you want to know why? He followed me when my account was like a meme page, like dead ass. But he still follows me.
A2B2,
which is my personal account.
Hustlefest.
Wait, what?
A2B2, Hustlefest.
The collab? I don't.
Both URL Fest.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
You'll
no,
single-handedly bring them out of retirement.
That's true. I will. But
Death Grips on Hustlefest.
no, but Death Grips is like amazing. Like I'm sad. I'm kind of sad that I was like turning away from them, shying away from them, because I was too busy with the parasite that is Drain Gang on my brain. But I decided to finally
do love
rip it out.
Drain Gang though. Let's
Yeah, we're just joking. We're just joking.
I love Drain Gang.
Yeah.
Oliver doesn't really like them, but it's fine.
Well, Oliver's British, so.
Well, actually, you would be surprised. Actually, probably not surprised how many British people are just like obsessed with Drain.
No. I saw some of the UK shows. I mean, one of their first shows was like in London, so yeah, no, I saw that. But no. Anyways, that's what we've been listening to, ladies and gentlemen. I just like doing that little segment, see how everyone's doing, catching up.
It's a good segment.
Yeah, it's a good segment. But ladies and gentlemen, we gotta wrap up. We want to give a big shout out. What's up, Vaughn?
Don't forget.
We want to give a big shout out to Todd Edwards. We love you, Todd Edwards. Oliver, are you a big fan of Todd Edwards?
That is like the number one thing that has been on my to listen list.
Oh, really?
It really has. That album
You're
you're
gonna
holding
get on
right
that.
now.
Get on that.
Wait, which one? Wait, which one?
One with the wheel.
Oh,
with the
New
wheel.
Trend Sounds. Is it because it's my favorite?
I think so.
That's a
I
W.
think so.
That's New Trend
Yeah.
Sounds, Classics Remixes Beyond.
Is that a good place to start?
No, not really, but like
Prima Edizione.
Prima
is
Edizione,
the
Prima
number
Edizione.
one place to
Oh yeah,
start.
of course. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But what were you about to say, Oliver? Or I think Vaughn. No, Vaughn. What were you about to say? Recently you said like, or some shit.
I'm gonna say. You know what? Nah. Let's. Just
Okay.
Well,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for watching this episode. We want to give shout out to Oliver, of course, for coming out.
Of
being
course.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
It's been a
it was
pleasure.
a pleasure. No, it was a pleasure
Time.
having you on. Oliver, bro, we miss you. We miss your CS:GO. This guy, he's cracking
Hey, look,
CS:GO, like seriously.
I'm moving all of my PCs back from Edinburgh to London. I'm back in town. Gonna set it all up, reinstall CS:GO, back in business.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire.
Hop on
You'll
CS,
see me
Hop on
on
CS.
Hop in the bathtub,
Yeah.
baby.
soon.
Wait, no, stop! Don't. What's wrong with you? This is a grown man. You're trying to cancel him. What's wrong
What did
with
you
you?
just say?
I'm a grown man.
Oh, that's true. Vaughn is a grown man. He's allowed to say that. I'm not a
I'm a
grown.
grown man.
I got a couple. I'm still cooking. I'm still cooking in the oven. I got a couple months left. And then then I have to
Benny
put
that.
minors do not interact.
Okay, you're weird.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
Let's move
let's
on,
wrap up.
move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out, watching the Chair Guys podcast. We got an exciting guest coming on in about 2 weeks or so. I mean, it's always an exciting special guest.
And also, before we close it out,
Oh yeah, what's up?
shout out to Todd Edwards.
Shout out,
Shout
Todd
out.
Edwards.
We almost forgot.
Shout out to Todd Edwards.
Shout out to
Almost
Todd
forgot.
Edwards. Shout out to Todd
Edwards.
Almost forgot.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Spiked alongside my co-host
Ours Vaughn.
and
Olivier.
Oliver, and we will see you guys next time. Goodbye.